We tend to overestimate how much better we are now than we were in the past. Thus, we struggle to imagine how much we will change going forward. For example, as I look back over my 30 years of teaching, I can accurately recall my decision to choose education as a profession. But what did I know? 30 years ago, and looking forward, could I have imagined that I might love teaching more today than before? Could I have imagined how online instructional video could reinforce what happens in the classroom? Could I have imagined how becoming a parent, as I have here in India, would influence my approach towards my own students? So I asked the seniors to look ahead, to speculate on what job they might have at age 35. You guys ready? Let's see what they had to say.
I'm not sure right now.
I mean, ideally, job in design.
I see myself being a teacher.
Well, I'd like to study science.
I don't know, somewhere in the arts field. Graphic designer.
I want to be a computer engineer.
Graphic designer. Kind of always wanted to be a policewoman. Be an environmental lawyer. Journalist.
Businessman. Oh, honestly, I have no idea.
I appreciated in reviewing the responses to that question just how many of you were not sure. Your openness to what may come is refreshing. For those of you more focused, I appreciated your sense of self and the passion embedded in your intentions. So here's my first message of the evening. Don't overestimate yourself. Be ready for the future by imagining all the change, good change, that lies ahead. A 2012 article in Forbes magazine suggests that job hopping is the latest employment pattern. Workers in their 20s today will spend an average of 2 years per job, holding 9 jobs between the age of 18 and 32. Richard Riley, a former U.S. Secretary of Education, has said education should prepare young people for jobs that do not yet exist, for technologies that have not been invented, to solve problems of which we are not yet aware. Charles Darwin is quoted as saying, "It's not the strongest or the most intelligent who will survive, but those who can best manage change." I'm a biology teacher. You should have expected the obligatory Darwin quote. So with respect to future jobs, my advice to you is educate yourselves well. Be flexible. Remain open to new directions. And don't let your pursuit of a job get in the way of your dreams. And that brings me to the second question that I posed to seniors. I asked, what dream do you have? What must you accomplish in order to have lived a full life? Just as a quick note, a 2013 study in the UK found that financial security was the #1 dream of both men and women. Marriage was well down the list behind traveling the world. Let's see what our seniors had to say.
Kind of to see my country sort of better on the world stage. I want to be able to travel around the world, just make my parents proud.
I really just want to be successful.
I just want to be successful and do something that makes a difference in the world.
Not yet.
I think I'll be happy wherever I go.
I want to write books. I just have a hope that throughout my life I'll continue to maintain the purpose of loving others and have my life be fulfilled through that.
These guys are amazing, aren't they? Truthfully, I was struck by the profoundly thoughtful responses. I was expecting things more specific like swimming the English Channel and that sort of thing. Frank Bruni, a New York Times columnist, has recently published a book titled "Where You Go Is Not Who You Will Be." He writes that many of the people happiest with the way things had turned out in life have, quote, an openness to serendipity, a nimbleness in adapting to change, a willingness to shoot off in a new direction. Notice the theme about being open to change, even with your dreams. According to the Huffington Post, the #1 of the top 10 regrets in life is never pursuing dreams and aspirations. #2, by the way, is never having made time for family. The things we dream of doing are experiences that take you to new places or possibly take you out of your comfort zone. Experiences that help you know more of who you are and what you can do. Experiences that provide a connecting dot in your life. So my advice to you, as you grow, with continued reflection, anticipating all the change in your future, do not forget your dreams. And don't forget to give your parents a hug. Spend time with family. Darwin said, if I had my life to live over again, I would have made a rule to read some poetry and listen to some music at least once every week. Well, Charles Darwin may have had a regret in life about not fulfilling a dream, but he was known for something. Darwin was known for his ideas on change over time. So I asked the seniors, what would you like to be known for? What would you like to give back to society? A pay-it-forward idea. Here's what they said.
It's a hard question. I have no idea.
I like people to know me for being generous.
I definitely want to be known for someone that is kind of living a balanced life.
Be happy with the person that I am.
Been able to help people less fortunate than I am.
Doing as much as I can to help other people.
Be able to make something as an engineer. Be able to give it to people who need it.
For someone who is happy, someone who makes others laugh.
Leaving a positive mark where I work.
Whether small or big, any opportunity I have to be able to help other people, to help make the lives of other people better.
When I did pay it forward, I didn't do it for myself. I actually genuinely did it for others.
I was struck by the humility and the poise of these guys. It's just amazing. And it does beg the question, how do we give back? What's important to think about? What's important to do? How do we best contribute to society? And there are really no simple answers on how to pay it forward. But we can start by paying close attention to the world around us, to be aware, to be reflective. I think that you, speaking to you graduates, should imagine that this graduation is the first of many dots that will be connected over the course of your lives. But while tonight's graduation is one of your first connecting dots, tonight's graduation is one of the later connecting dots for the adults in this room. You are a part, an important part, of a longer trajectory of dots built by your grandparents, parents, and teachers. While you may not yet know what you will give back to society, your parents and teachers know something about what we're giving back. You. In other words, our pay it forward is you. No pressure. Our hope is, as we let you go, that you be thoughtful and kind, and that you be reflective on the big questions of life. And this is where things get serious. When I started teaching 30 years ago, the world's population was under 5 billion. Now we're at 7.2 billion and counting. Ebola emerges as people push into jungles hunting food. Over 30% of the world's ocean fisheries are overexploited. People are altering the climate by burning 85 million barrels of oil every day. The conflict in Syria has been linked to a drought, which has been linked to climate change. As the Arctic ice cap melts, oil companies are being granted permits to explore the Arctic for more oil. In 2014, a new gene editing technique altered the DNA of a human embryo. In 2015, the British government approved the development of embryos using the DNA from 3 different people. Gene editing techniques and embryo building would serve to reduce genetic disease, but what are the ethical implications? 30 years ago, the Siberian crane, a beautiful bird standing 1.5 meters tall, was a regular winter migrant to northern India. The Siberian crane no longer reaches India. The Yangtze River dolphin was declared extinct in 2006, and in the first 3 months of 2015, 400 rhinos were poached in South Africa. Rising incomes worldwide provide positive social mobility, but also fuel the demand for horn and ivory and tiger parts. So is it possible to develop our societies without having development tied to growth and more growth? These are the questions surrounding the change in the world, and they're perplexing, but these are the questions about which you need to be reflective. These are the questions you need to carry forward, to pay it forward, by grappling with the difficult issues, many of which our generation has left you. You are paying it forward. So when I asked, what would you want to do to pay it forward? Little did you know that your task was already well established. So let me close by just summarizing. As you depart AES and move forward with your lives, don't overestimate yourself. Be humble. Be ready for change. Plan for change. Don't forget your dreams. Do the best you can with life's big questions, because you are our hope for the future. Thank you very much.
Good evening. We've reached the point of the program that many of you would say this is why you came tonight. I do want to